What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Line Show where we're doing our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors, entrepreneurs alike, and the cryptocurrency world because, gosh, crypto is the biggest opportunity over the next few years, and it's not even close. Welcome along on the journey. Corey, take it away.
Yeah, good morning, Hexicans. And guys, we got to wind the show down. We have the Ink Maxi top caller in the comments. This is the end of the show. And just kidding. We love you, Briz. We really do, even when we give you crap. Yeah, guys, we're just blessed to be here. We missed a couple days this week. We've been just slammed with doing onboarding and growing our business, which has been a lot of fun. Which pumps all our bags, to be honest with you. And we're on a mission where we want to use cryptocurrency as a wealth creation tool, bring some self-sovereignty into our lives, and get away from the middlemen and these tyrannic governments while we're doing this creation of wealth. A lot of fun. And then use some real estate, some business merger acquisitions, maybe some oil and gas. We've had some experience with that. Some wealth preservation down the road. And so we want to, change the trajectory of our family tree, and hopefully you guys come along for the ride. And it's just been a blessing to be with you, all you guys. I mean, I love the Hexican community. I'm going to see a lot of you guys out in Vegas. Please come out and say hi to me. Let's have coffee. Let's have lunch. Let's meet up and network. Briz, are you coming to the Vegas event? I know you're out like in California or something, paying like 50% taxes. I don't know if you're going to make enough in your ink token gains, bro, for the taxes out there in California. But come out to Vegas, man, and say hi. Let's meet up. Let's meet up and have some fun. But yeah, man, Dane B Roots was on Crypto Banter. I'm not seeing much pumping. I see a lot of sales. I guess maybe like it was like a lot of sellers were in the back waiting for him to shill, and they're selling into the buy pressure.
Well, I didn't even see that much I don't even see that much movement on the charts in general. Are you seeing a bunch of I'm not seeing a bunch of selling. In fact, let's look at the trading volume here.
In the 24 hours, we're talking about Teddy Bear, guys, because obviously that's B Roots' coin, right? Like that's his main shill. I'm seeing on a 24-hour volumes 1,694 buys versus 2,574 sales. Buy volume.
No, I have the wrong chart pulled up here. I'm with you.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll give it throughout the day and see what happens. We'd love to see the ecosystem pump as a whole. Because we've been kind of going a little bit of downward pressure for the last couple of weeks, which was explainable. I mean, we had a lot of upward momentum there, and it was time for a cool-off period. And so you guys were looking for some DCAing. I felt like this last few days was great if you were trying to get in some more dollar cost averaging. It was a great time to do it. It's just a matter of time before I feel like we start our next leg up. And, Bitcoin halving is right around the corner. April 19th, I think, is the date that is set for that. So let's get these let's get the bags built out and get ready for the next leg up, because it could be explosive. It's been a lot of fun. Other news, and guys, come on the show. Let's talk. Get in here. We got the StreamYard in the chat there. Briz, won't you come on in so we can talk about the Ink token, your favorite token, and your favorite logo. But other news is we haven't been on the show lately, Dane, but the what's their names? Big X put a massive EHEX sell wall. I would like to know what your guys' thoughts are, and I would like to know the reason behind it, if it's bearish or bullish, and why you think it's bearish or bullish. So yeah, I'd like to hear about it, and maybe you guys can come in and talk about it. Yeah, Casey, you're right. We did see a full moon dump. That's usually when we see the markets in general dump. I learned about that from watching Randy Hilarski. I didn't really know that markets follow the moon cycles, but they do. I've noticed it. Sometimes more drastically than others. You'll see a very drastic dip sometimes in a full moon, and sometimes it's very light. But yeah. Did I rob a Puerto Rican for the necklace? Well, man, if it was the ink token necklace, I might have robbed somebody for it. But nah, man, I bought this off of I think it's the Aussie they're guys out of Australia, and they make not only this but also Hex, and they're also working on making Richard Hart's. You know the Richard Hart one where it's the hand with the cash full holding cash, the money.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna make that one too, and so I'm excited to see that. I'll probably end up buying that one too when they make it. They're not. These are like $70, man. They're cheap, 70 or $80. I can't remember, but they were cheap.
I
So
liked I saw somebody, there was some influencer. I liked Richard's serpent one. Do you remember that serpent necklace that came down the
yeah,
head? He had that, and then he had the bracelet. And I feel like maybe
yeah.
there was one other piece. I saw some influencer wearing that, and I was like, oh, I know exactly where I've seen that before. That was funny. Uh-huh. Man, I've been thinking about it a lot over the last few days. So, in the end of the day, right, you've got to do your due diligence. You got to exercise some faith. You got to make some bets and then hold on to your shorts and hope you're right. And I think it's interesting with Sami saying that if you look at the previous Bitcoin fractals and compare alt season, that theoretically, compared to those, we're either through this one already and the game is up and we're going to see a big correction and we're going to have to wait for another, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months for things to get exciting again. Or we have, theoretically 2 more months, maybe into May, to be able to see more price action. I'm curious where you think we're at, Corey. Do you have any strong opinions on that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we could definitely see a couple more months of price action. One, Richard, we know, or not Richard, I would say the biggest eye holder, he might be a duck named Greg, likes to pull strings when everything else isn't pumping or when everything else is going the opposite
It's
way
red.
for
Yeah.
marketing. So I feel like for our ecosystem, we definitely can see more of even if like the kind of the middle alt season or the first alt season is kind of halfway done. And guys, we saw this. A lot of people were fighting on Twitter saying it wasn't alt season. Are you kidding me? Solana started pumping back in November. Like that was alt season. That was a piece of alt season when all these other protocols were pumping. You know, it was just we pumped a little bit on the later side, and that's this when the OA or the Greg the Duck started pulling some strings, and then the money fell in afterwards. I feel like we could see it again. We could see it again, and I bet you we bounce off that trend line right there, Dane. It's sitting right there on the trend line, the upward trend. If you draw that line, I bet you we bounce off of that. It wouldn't surprise me if that's where that's the support and we start moving back upward again. Now I could be wrong. This is not financial advice. You guys can go buy bonds. We have no idea. We're just a couple of dudes on the internet speculating. That's it. And so, yeah, but that's my guess right there is that it would bounce off that trend line and we'll see what happens. I feel like right now that's a great DCA opportunity if you're trying to get some more, pick some more up. Man, what a bouncing off that trend line right there. I would go and grab it. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm in the camp though that we kind of see that double bubble that Sami talks about. I believe that we see like an 80K Bitcoin. I'm starting to get more in the camp of the left translated cycle, where I don't know, or maybe it is a kind of like a left translated cycle, but then like it gets elongated over to 2026 when we actually see another run up. I don't know, but I don't know, man. Just I get more and more of where the whole this time is different. That's just it's incorrect. I don't know, man.
Well,
And
it's fascinating how the 4-year cycle is playing out pretty well like clockwork so far,
yes,
other than Bitcoin being as high as it's ever been before the halving right now. And you have some of that coming, well, you have that buy pressure coming from the ETFs.
right. So,
Right.
I mean, it's to be expected because of the Bitcoin ETF, right? And I still think we're going to get a pretty good sell off around the halving. I think we're going to have to sell the news that we have every cycle.
I did
It's
too.
going to happen. And that could be your next opportunity to pick up, some pretty good assets if you want, aka our ecosystem. But I don't know. At the same time, if Bitcoin's getting wrecked, once again, Mr. Greg the Duck likes pulling strings, probably for marketing purposes, when other assets are getting wrecked. So Be careful of like trying to play the game, the trading game, even on a swing trade on a weekly or monthly, because you feel like Bitcoin's going to do the buy the rumor, sell the news. We've seen these assets move in the opposite direction, and so we want to be careful with that. Yeah, that's my thoughts, man. I'm just gonna hold. Like Bitcoin's gonna do the buy the rumors, sell the news. That was weird. That was like a robot. Mr. Frank.
Hey guys, how's it going?
You might have the YouTube show. If you have the YouTube show open in addition to this one, it'll throw your audio off. So go ahead and close another tab if you have that one open, and then unmute yourself and see if that's better. Good. Let me unmute you. Oh,
all right. Hey guys.
It's weird. Yeah, yours still sounds like a robot. You might need to go out and then come back in. Try that real quick.
Yeah, your audio's wrecked.
See if that's any better. I think it's hilarious to see how people can be at each other's throats when charts aren't pumping. I mean, we've only had. I mean, look at this from this last local high, right? We've only had what is this? A 17% pullback. Like, relax. This isn't something. Well, I have a theory that I think a lot of people get their feelings hurt that were here for Hex last time, because now we know there were 80 to 90% dips in there, but man, that freaking thing went straight up from nowish clear through a lot of the cycle. I mean, you were up a 60x from, what would that have been? I think it was 3 months before the Bitcoin halving. 3 months before up to the Bitcoin halving, you were up a freaking 60x from the bottom. And this stuff is just a lot heavier this time around. It's a lot heavier. And so it's not going to move the same. And I think a lot of people were anticipating it to do the same thing. And it's just not. So when we don't just go straight up, a lot of people are at each other's throats. Just take a step back, go touch some grass. Everything's fine.
Or sell your bags and then
move on. Keep it moving.
Go buy the new shiny thing that's always, like last time it was Titan X. Maybe this time it's that new Drip X. I don't know if you saw that new one, Dane. They got new forks coming out of this stuff. It's over on B&B chain. It's just more garbage.
Please. Let's see if your audio is any better, Frank.
I think that was my fault. I was plugged in on two things. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, what are your thoughts, Frank, on what we might see in the markets here? Do you like the double bubble idea, kind of like Corey's saying, and see a sell-off here heading into Bitcoin halving on Bitcoin? What do you think?
Well, I missed a little bit of that. So, but what inspired me to share, which I think might help, is if you go to, give me a second here. If you go to blockchaincenter.net,
all right,
it shows on the altcoin season, it's not altcoin season yet. It's only a 57. So we are not even, it's almost like right in the middle. It's not quite alt season yet. So does that help?
Cool. Let me share this one. I haven't used it before. Where can you, let's see if can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Where do I go from here, Frank? Maybe it's right here.
Let's see here. Alt season index.
Alt season. Oh, right there. I see.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Interesting.
That is where we are. And I've gotten literally a friend of mine sent me that 2 days ago, and then I heard it yesterday. B Roots showed it in his private. I
like it. I mean, the whole ideology of this altcoin season that Sami is pointing to is that it's not going to be explosive like the main altcoin season when the Bitcoin reaches an all-time high. There's two altcoin seasons. There's one that's like a very moderate, like very It doesn't do a lot of gains, but it does some gains, like Solana doing a 10x. That was part of altcoin season in a way, right? And so, like, and even us doing a 3x, right? We're up about 3x off the bottom, which is, I'll take it right now. But the big altcoin season, the massive explosive move comes when the Bitcoin hits a new all-time high. And also, even in the moderate altcoin season, we don't see the majority of the move until right before the end of the altcoin season's over. So like that will shoot up to altcoin season, and then we're only going to be there for like a month, right? And then it will retrace back, and then we're moving into, we'll have to wait until the Bitcoin high. But this is a great gauge. I love this. It's very similar, like like with your fear and greed index, where you can kind of get a feel what's going on in the marketplace, overall sentiment. And this is awesome.
Yeah, two things. And you can also, on that chart right there, you can see that there's older coins to the left, like second, third cycle coins.
Yeah.
And then the newer coins are on the right. I forget what, some newer coins.
Sure.
And then the other thing is too, with the chart above it, you can get a sense of how long the seasons are, like 2 or 3 months, or that's the cool thing.
Because they're saying above 70. Okay, so let's go through some of this data here. I think this is useful. So
it is useful.
So he says in this chart, it says if 75% of the top 50 coins perform better than Bitcoin over the last season, over 90 days, then they're saying it's altcoin season. Excluded from the top 50 are stable coins and asset-backed tokens. Okay, great. Cool. So that's how they're aggregating this data. Yeah, and if we go into here, like you're saying, Frank, does it give us hard dates? Oh, it does. Sweet. So starting right, let's zoom in. So altcoin season here last time around, this is in, what is this? August 8th of 22. This went to roughly September 14th. So what is that? About a little over a month.
6 weeks.
Right.
Yeah. Over a month. This one over here, this is March 25th to, about June 21st. Oh, that was like a good 90 days there. That's interesting. This one over here is August 7th to September 13th, a little over a month.
I think that was DeFi summer, basically.
Yeah, I think you're right. And some of these are just look like they're little tiny blips. December 1st to December 15th.
2 weeks.
Day. Yeah. What is this one? This one is January 2nd to March 17th. So 3.5 months. So yeah, it's interesting. In fact, Sami put together an interesting video where he was showing these, and yeah, this is showing that same data where you have, typically at least some of these bigger ones, you have anywhere from a hair over a month to 90 days. And we're all hoping and praying that this indicator, something like this, is right, where we're not there yet.
Well, we're getting close. Look at that.
And we're getting close. Now, like here's a potential wrench in that plan. Is this little blip here? Is this one, back in January, was that it? Like January 15th to January 29th, there's like a 15-day time span. Was that a little blip? And now we kind of like roll over and hang out until Bitcoin shoots back off again in 6 months. I don't know.
You have to be prepared for that.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah. Like I'm good with it. Like literally, I can wait another year. I mean, I don't want to, but like I can wait another year. I don't need sell my bags tomorrow. And I mean, to answer Al's question, yeah, man, they're finished, bro. I would go and sell your bags. I would go buy bonds, and they're finished, man. In fact, dump them all today, so that way some of us can go and buy them.
And I mean, I think the reason that we're all here is because of Richard, right? And the hope that you have this, like D-Nice said, a 900-pound gorilla in the room that can throw their weight around and do things differently than you see with like XRP, where those freaking guys have been selling billions on all the holders' heads there. And it just breaks my heart. I talked to an Uber driver the other day, and she's like, still holding my XRP. Just imagine when the US government starts using them to facilitate payments.
Why?
And I told her, I was like, look, sister, you're dreaming. What's the likelihood?
Mind.
What's the freaking likelihood of that? Like, it's so low. And you think the government's going to take you on a rocket ship ride? Like, no, that's not going to happen.
People are delusional, man. And like, God, I mean, even like Solana, you have VCs just dumping on everyone's head. Like, great, did it 10x. Like, and people are so worried about Rackham and our ecosystem. Like, Rackham doesn't even come close to what the VCs do in Solana. What Ripple does in the XRP Foundation or the Ripple Foundation, Rackham's not even close to what those guys do. Like, people over worry and overthink these things. Like, we have this 900-pound gorilla. He's the biggest die holder in all of crypto, followed by his best friend, Godwell. So you have Greg the Duck and Godwell. Like, I'll bet on those guys any day of the week than VCs, than the Ripple Foundation, and then the U.S. government up in my backs. The U.S. government, I'm not going to rely on the U.S. government for shit.
Oh, agreed.
Get the hell out of here with that nonsense. That is wild.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. What's up, Paul and Norbert? We'll start with Paul. What are your thoughts, Paul?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Not a whole lot. The only thing I'll warn you, Frank, on public indicators, just be careful. There are a lot of them on the big sites. They are actually there to trick you, make you do the same thing that the top buyers all do. Is they come to buy in confidence, make you feel good. The indicators are actually backwards, like the fear and greed indicator. That is not accurate most of the time, unless you're paying for it.
Yeah.
Oh, good to know. Thank you. Well,
yeah.
Would not have even considered that.
Everything's this is PvP. You know what I mean, Frank? Everything's designed to get us wrecked.
Yeah, I will tell you. I used to watch fear and greed indicator, and it would be like. It actually, what's really crazy is it mimics a lot of the stuff. If you watch like Crypto Banter, if you watch Rand's stuff, his feeling of the market and everything will mimic the fear and greed indicator, and it's usually the worst. It's the worst trades. It's the worst buys. Don't do that.
Interesting.
That's
Interesting.
Good to know.
Good alpha. I'm glad you shared that.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
What's up, Norbert? What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, all good, guys. Yeah, it's so you're talking about XRP. If it's some people say it's a good investment, and they expecting it to be used by the banks. Yeah, that was the point?
Disgusting, bro.
It's just it's too late. It's like a giant something. It's hard to move it. It's kind of too late, overhyped. And it's like I said, I think we talked about this before a long time ago. I still find it like a promise coin, like, oh yeah, one day the bank's gonna use us. Like, what would be the incentive for the banks to use you? Number one, and number two, that you've been telling us for years and hasn't happened anything concrete, solid. So yeah.
Well, we have a real estate investment company that we met at an event a few weeks ago. And they said that Ripple had reached out to them to be able to help facilitate their real estate transactions on the blockchain. And they were super excited about it. And I actually think that's a pretty bearish indicator. This isn't a big giant company. Like, these guys aren't enormous, known globally everywhere. And if Ripple is having to start, they're reaching out to people that aren't, frankly, don't have a big book of business. It says that they're scraping the bottom of the barrel. They just don't have there's no takers on their tech. And I feel sad. I feel sad for the XRP guys.
Exactly. If your product, sorry.
I want to throw this in there, like, real quick, and I'll let you go, Norbert. Like, here's the thing with ISO 2022 and stuff like XRP and HBAR. Like, crypto is designed to get rid of middlemen, get rid of big banks, get rid of like counterparty risk, governments, all that stuff. This is like the opposite of why I got into crypto. Like, I can find assets to get rich in crypto. And even if XRP did get me rich, like, I'd rather go find a decentralized protocol that I have really strong core beliefs with and I resonate with and get rich in that asset than go against my morals. Like, I can go sell cocaine.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can go sell blow and like get rich doing that, but it's against my morals, right? Like it's really against my morals. Like I just don't understand. Like it's the opposite of why I got into crypto and my belief systems. I can get rich doing a lot of different things, and I'd rather get rich in stuff that I believe in and I love, and that I really found, I resonate with my morals. And it's just like the ISO 2022, man. It's just like, good luck.
Good luck. Right.
I thought cocaine was the fun side of this. What's the fun?
Right.
Exactly. I mean,
There's no sex appeal to it.
Just kidding.
Like nobody wants to date the ugly girl at school. That's the ugly girl. Seriously.
No, regulation is good, and these ISO standards are also good. But as we discussed before many times, action speaks louder than words. So yeah, if you have the technology, then show me, do it. Like show me some improvements. Like how many years pass by, and I still don't see any solid results from your side regarding this.
I mean, I might as well just go invest in CBDCs. I mean, I just go all the way.
Seriously.
The safe way.
Let's just go all the way. Like,
Hey, this is yeah. What if the ugly girl got that booty? XRP doesn't have any of that, man. There's nothing exciting nothing to get excited about there.
When I really got heavy into crypto back in 2020, I followed, I was like, I don't want to be like the XRP community. Like I knew, like I get it, it's a buy and hold strategy, et cetera. Let's see where this goes. And Hex has, the Hex RH ecosystem has some of that too, right? I mean,
well, it's a buy and hold strategy for the XRP Foundation, so they can be the sellers. Like it's
right.
It's crazy, right? Sorry, go ahead.
No. Well, I forgot my point here. Let me think about it. I'll get back to it.
But you were saying, I interrupted you. You're saying like Richard Hart ecosystem has some of those same like sentiments about it where you buy and hold long term. Does that help spark your?
Yeah, but
gosh dang it, I messed you up. That's
it's
my
all right.
fault.
It's all right. It's all right. It'll come back. And if
here's
not,
probably Frank.
Here's something I want to get your guys' take on. I've been thinking about this a lot as well. So this is I think this is a really important comment. Where'd it go? I wanted to share it. Yeah. Hold on. The more absent RH is, the more I listen to his old streams and the more convinced about Pulsechain and Hex I am. And I feel the same. I go back and I watch old Richard Hart content and I'm like, Richard's the guy. I don't feel any differently about that today. And my question to you guys is, do you think that Richard has changed his playbook at all? Because you learn from the markets, right? You learn from your first time around and you do things differently. You adjust and pivot. And frankly, I think one of the things that I would be looking at really closely is the community, right? So you built Hex, you pumped it up, it did a 10,000x. And then how did they treat you in the bear market? Most people were terrible. If I was Richard, you want to give your money away to a lot of these people and how they acted in the bear market? I'd want to say, fuck every one of you that came out here and acted like a friend of me in my face when things were going up and then things went down and you couldn't have talked any more trash. It's just appalling behavior. Absolutely appalling behavior. I can't think of a worse person to be during the bear market than Richard.
Me neither.
Seriously. And so you're telling me that this 900-pound gorilla wants to step in again and like pump things to the moon for the people that treated him so poorly in the bear market? I don't know. If it were me, I wouldn't be real anxious to do that. Now I wouldn't leave my stuff to die, but I think I changed my playbook a little bit this time around, and I try to influence market factors a little bit differently. And so I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are in that respect.
Can I say that first? So I think, this is my opinion, he's going to come out bigger and fiercer than ever.
He could.
He's going to come out bigger and better. And even if he isn't live streaming, doing his thing, it's going to be behind the scenes. And I think that, he's done things to produce a result since childhood that is going to be the same thing leading him now that he's going to do to produce a result. He wants to be the best and he's going to end up being the best. That's my opinion. He's
I
going to
like
be the GOAT.
Let
What do
me
you think,
address
Robert?
this real quick before you guys take turns. Yes, his coins will drop 99% again. So sell them now before they drop. So us here on stage today can go and buy those bags. So yes, they will drop 99% again. Welcome to Crypto Al.
I'm taking devil's advocate, so unless you want me to go last, I'll go second to last.
Take it, Norbert. Give us your opinion.
If I was Richard and I've been treated poorly because I am a fairly intelligent person, let's say, not me, but Richard, let's say, then I couldn't care less about it if I give you the opportunity and you don't live with it. Yeah, it's your loss. You know, you don't want it, fine. You know, like I couldn't care less if you want it or not. You know, but if I know 100% that what I'm doing right is right, and then it's going to be beneficial for a wide variety of people, then it would give me such a huge satisfaction if it would do another, you know, so let's say not 10,000x, but it would do 20,000x. So instead of 55 cents, would go to the dollar. And at $1, I would just tweet one thing, like probably dating back to
And
the
you're talking
day
about
when I'm,
Hex, right?
yeah, for example, yeah, or any
Sure,
of
an
the
example.
any of the products which I designed for, you know, like people didn't believe in it and say, look, I've done it once, I've done it. Okay, let's say if it's not Hex, it's another product of his. That would be my post. I've done it once, I've done it again. You know, so yeah,
And that
you
would
do,
be
as
so
they say, you do you,
strong.
I
Yeah,
do
if
me. If
Richard
you
can
don't want it,
point to
then
that. If Richard can point to that too, yeah, I love your comment. If he could say, look, I've done this twice, all the haters can, you know, they can get left behind. He said it. I love when he said haters coming
I would
short of
even twerk
myself on
more, you know, like I
fame.
would even twerk more. You see? Double, baby. Two times, baby.
Right. All right, Paul, take it away, man. Those are good comments, Frank and Norbert.
All right, so we go off of the last things Richards used to say in the last cycle was, I'm the best man in crypto. Used to constantly compare himself to Satoshi, and then also at the same time, the same conversation, he'd shit on Satoshi and say, where the fuck is he now? So he used to say all these things that he probably kind of secretly desires a little bit because of how bad he got shit on in the bear market by his own community, people that supposedly had his back. So I don't know. Richard's the only thing he hasn't done is live stream, but we see the guy is the best marketer in crypto. There is nobody better than him.
He's an entrepreneur.
I think we can all agree that the guy has that it factor that makes people, no matter how long he streams, that makes them feel relaxed and hit the buy button. Just does. Also, some people use the opportunity to sell, but majority of the time, it's a positive for the price. But if I was Richard and I wanted to exit like Satoshi, but just not up and do a Satoshi, I think I would probably give everybody. I compared it to the analogy that hit me a few hours ago was everybody's had that feeling when you're 7, 8 years old and your parents walk you into Toys R Us and and you're just like that euphoria and you're like, oh my God, there's so many toys. I wish I could have anything. He did that with Pulsechain. We've got our Toys R Us, we've got our sandbox, and Dad's possibly thinking about going out for cigarettes. So.
Not returning.
Toys R Us, yeah, I like that one.
So he's got the option because we've all got our toys, and he's warned us like, hey, if your shit doesn't go up better than mine, and I'm still the best man in crypto, then did you really win? So he's got all these things that we're all looking at, new shiny objects and toys and all this, and we know who he is and we know what he's created. So I don't think he's leaving, but I'm just saying I don't know if he goes as hard with live streaming this bull cycle as he did last cycle because he saw how hard it bit him in the ass. And cycles are judged bottom to bottom. So
yeah, agreed.
I like that take. I mean, here's what I would do. Yeah, here's what I would do. I would look and I would say, he's freaking tracking wallets. He's shown that over and over and over again. I would try to shake out every MFer that I was tired of, that had shit talked me all bear market. He knows who a lot of these MFers are. I would try to make it freaking boring as all get out and hope hope to God that people dangled stupid carrots and hex clones again, like they always do, to take some of the
Titan X.
idiots away. We saw with Titan X, like I would hope.
Yeah, what
Here's-
happened to
was
Titan
the-
X?
here's the positive.
My bag is
So I
Which
just
shaking.
was
gave
Like,
the
you
bottom, guys. That marked the bottom of Pulsechain, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that.
Seriously.
I gave you
I
all the
get
bear
that
case.
out of here, and then I can send it. You know what I mean? That's what I would do.
I gave you all the bear case. Here's the positive. When you're that little kid in Toys R Us, or you're a little kid that gets left in Applebee's, it's in that split instance you go, "Oh shit, this ain't the reality I wanted. I want Dad back. I want to go back, like come back." So, I think people eventually do go back to RH tickers.
Sure.
It's just if he comes back around, and he comes back and does the live streams, and same thing Ivan complains about. Like, bro, the whole industry, not just the community, the whole industry wants you back in your live word. Even if it's not even your live word, a video once a month, is that too much to ask for? I mean, come on. Even if it's not an hour, like 20-minute update, 15-minute update.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I know.
When it happens.
Go ahead, Norbert.
Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, very really good points, Paul. But if you are, again, let's say you are a smart guy who completed many achievements in his life. Normally, the smart guys, they don't talk much and they don't show much. They just really using the key points to show what really happened. And last time on the X-Ray Vision show, I came to a thought, which is maybe this SEC case is gonna be in our favor because he's got 11 of the best lawyers possibly in this field, ever. And if I was one of those 11 lawyers, I would bring up in a very, very detailed information how many investors were losing because they did
100%.
Terra Luna, because they did Free Arrow Capital and all these things. Very, very detailed information, yeah? Let's say 100,000 people lost on average 20,000 pounds or dollars or whatever, go down that route. Option one. And right now you are accusing my client who created something which doesn't have any human intervention, cannot be manipulated, and is all for the benefit of the average person to somehow go by in life because everything just growing significantly, living expense and stuff like that. So maybe that's gonna work out in our case, and then he doesn't need to do too many. And then also like probably he's got a lot of things on his mind right now because of this case as well. So it's good that he doesn't do shows all the time and stuff like. It's not the time for that. Like we're gonna have our time probably in the future, hopefully, and then we can have.
I think he's gonna
kind of
test us. I really do. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Like Richard's stuff now from the bottom, right? From the bottom, Pulsex has moved. I think done like a 7x move. I think Pulse is roughly a 2 or 3x move. So it's moving from the bottom, which is great. The tricky thing is most people that are in sacrificed, and nobody's excited from sacrifice rate where your portfolio stands at.
Well, they should have DCA'd.
No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree, right? But
Yeah.
everyone thought we would be a 10x or more above sac rate today. Right now, where we're at 9 months later, everyone freaking thought that. And if I'm Richard, man, I'd test your faith. I wouldn't pump the stuff until later. And I'd try to shake out all the weak hands I possibly could. That'd be my point.
Really good point. Really good point.
Yeah. And we've seen it. He's given those of us that have been paying attention, he's given us a little bit of hope, who've seen some of the SAC money come across. Whoever may be controlling that wallet, the largest die holder in all of crypto, decide they want to come over and buy a little bit. For me, there's a ton of hope in that. So I think you see the fruits there. And now it's just a matter of waiting and being patient. And where's your faith at?
That's it.
And if his
Mine
product
isn't
is good, he doesn't even need to interfere because it's just gonna grow naturally. You know, like it's gonna be used in a wide number, population. Let's say so.
And I find
Maybe
When did
even get
that?
a little bit of.
Did you guys see the Sami video where he was charting stuff against ETH? Did you guys see
Yeah.
this? It was fascinating. I'll give you a recap. Maybe I'll pull up a few of them here. He was charting a bunch of these crypto charts against Ethereum, and almost everything pulled back to the mean regression. Almost nothing is outpacing Ethereum, even up to this point. Almost nothing for an extended period of time. You have these runs, right? You have these runs during a bull run where some of the stuff can outpace it in the short term, but there's almost nothing that is actually outperforming Ethereum in the long term. Now, Ethereum, third cycle curse, some of that type of stuff, it's so correlated in liquidity bonding with Bitcoin at this point. Does that continue? That's got to break at some point. But man, like almost nobody has brought more value to the ecosystem as far as price charts are concerned to be able to consistently outpace the price chart. I think BNB is one of the only few that's consistently outperformed ETH. And that's those guys cycling a lot of the money from the billions of trading dollars that they make back in to be able to keep it pumped up. Like, it's fascinating.
Yep. Fully manipulated over on BNB. Yeah, man. I mean, I think, at the end of the movie, some of these EVM chains will win and actually solve a problem in the marketplace and will be Ethereum in the long run because of the third cycle curse, because like you said, Dane, bonded by liquidity, and some of these chains will be emerge winners. I got news. It's probably not going to be AVAX. They freaking shut down their chain today. I don't know if you guys saw that. They literally had to pause the chain today. Like, what? Like, this is wild. Like, you see it in AVAX. You see it in Solana. This is not crypto, Pulsechain is one of the most, if not the decentralized blockchain in the crypto universe. Period. End of story. That solves a big problem that we have in the space right now. It really just that one thing solves a really big problem. AVAX paused the chain today. What? I used to be an AVAX fan. I almost became an AVAX node validator. This last bear market, I was really close to doing it, and now I'm glad I put all my money in Pulsechain.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that, because I don't think it'll even make a difference whether people buy or sell it, because look what happened to Solana. It's been down a lot. I mean, I don't know how many, because I just hear it, and I saw it when it was $6, and I thought, and it's already done. How many X's has it done since the bottom? People don't care. People don't know. They don't realize.
No, they don't care.
They don't understand. Like, so what? It's going up, and Solana is going to do probably another 10x from where it's going to do 100x this cycle. I don't know what AVAX will do, but it doesn't matter. People will keep buying it. Just like how lucky we were to DCA in when the announcement came out that Richard was getting sued. It's like, how lucky were we to be able to get it for a third of the price that a lot of us paid for it 2 or 3 years ago? Like, that was a gift. We didn't care.
Horrible,
we kept buying it, right?
So horrible.
It was horrible. It sucked. Believe me, I know it sucked. But in hindsight, a lot of people within the community, at least within the community, were able to double, triple, quadruple their bags because they were able to buy it cheaper. And now, as time goes on, hopefully it will, have an awesome run.
Agreed.
As a first cycle.
I really like
everybody who bought April 15th through October 1st, those 6 weeks, was it? 6.5 weeks? Forever grateful in PLSX.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. I think that's a good take by Ferdo. He says vertical growth starts in October of each halving year. Richard's court hearing is on October 23rd. A perfect storm is brewing in the third quarter.
It's part of the movie I'm talking about, Dane. There's the movie I talk about.
Here's the bull case, right? Here and I want to add to this because I think this is so freaking important. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the debt box. lawsuit. I have, because I'm an investor in DebtBox. I made a ton of money off DebtBox. I was in there in the first month, and that was what gave me the push to do crypto full time, because I made so much money from that stupid thing. It was remarkable. The DebtBox case is similar to Richard's case in that it's an SEC trap. Essentially, they're targeting the DebtBox guys. They're making all these just obscene claims of, oh, they stole all this money. Those guys raised over $1 billion. They did a really nice raise themselves. And the foundation of the DebtBox is that they're tying their stuff to real world assets. So the idea is it's supposed to be like a business. They've got oil, and they've got real estate, and they've got natural gas and gold, and they've got these different things. And those businesses generate revenue, and they support the blockchain stuff. So it's kind of cool. And it's working in that stuff hasn't dipped as much as some of the others. Like, it's kind of supported it, but it also, like, I'm not buying more. So this is not a signal to run off and go buying. I'm not buying. But what I like about the case is the SEC stepped in, and they even froze the bank accounts for DebtBox because they said they made up all this complete garbage that were just lies of what they thought was going on. DebtBox went back with their attorneys to the judge, and they said, no, we really have the assets that we claim to have. We really are doing business in the way that we say that we're doing it. And the way the SEC is acting is totally irresponsible. In fact, we need our bank account back, and we want you to dismiss the case. And the SEC, they backed them up big enough in a corner where the freaking SEC is like, oh, okay, I guess we don't want to do this case anymore, but we want to reserve the right to come back and sue later if there's something here that we actually decide we want to take action on. So it'll be interesting to see how the judge rules. But imagine like something like that happening with Richard's case, where it comes up and they're like, oh, actually, Your Honor, we don't have anything here, just like we don't have shit on anybody else. You know, like, what happens to our ecosystem? What happens if Richard wants to do some things with marketing and stuff there? Like, hold on to your shorts. It can be freaking absurd.
Yep.
Are you saying we possibly get a buy signal of August 1st again in the future?
That'd be nice. So it'll be fun. Well, cool, guys. I've got to go jump off. I've got a lot of stuff to be able to wrap up today. We appreciate everybody jumping in. And for those of you in the comments, appreciate your commentary. We will be back next week. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Anything you want to cover, Corey, before we jump off?
No, that's about it, man. I'll just say, if you guys are out in Vegas, please hit me up. Dane won't be there. He'll be in his move at that time, but hit me up. Let's go out, have lunch. Let's get the network and know each other a little bit. And yeah, we love you guys. The community is what makes the show. The community what makes our ecosystem. And let's go out and pump the bags. Guys, if you want to smash the likes for us too, that would be well appreciated. Smash the likes. Hit the bell notification if this is your first time here. Subscribe to our show. We want to be able to like keep bringing this information. We're going to cut through the narratives all through the cycle and talk about some other asset classes too, where we can preserve our wealth and change the trajectory of, you know, ours and our families' lives. And it's going to be an absolute blast. So, yeah.
Cool, guys. Have a great weekend.
Peace.
All the best, guys. All the best. Bye-bye.
Yeah.